Hello students, hope you all are good. This is my fourth video on database concepts. In this video, I will discuss structured query language. So let's begin with this video. What is SQL? SQL stands for Structured Query Language. This SQL is the most common language which is used to create, operate, update, manipulate, and communicate with a database. In other words, if I say that if you want to work with a database, then you need a certain language to communicate with, and that language is SQL. Like if human being one person wants to communicate with the other person, for interacting with the other person they need a language to communicate with, like they can communicate in Hindi, they can communicate in English and other languages. In the same way, if the user wants to communicate with a database, then there is a computer database language which is required. So that language is SQL. So using SQL, one can create, access and handle and manage data in relational database. Now what you can do with this SQL language is you can retrieve data from a database, you can insert records in a database. If you need to make any changes in the database, then that comes under updating records in a database. You can create new database, you can create new tables and many more. So all this can be done with the help of SQL language. Let's discuss the advantages of SQL. The very first advantage of SQL language is it is easy to use. It is very easy to learn and use, and it does not require any professional learning to use this SQL language. One can easily use SQL as it uses simple English-like statements for its commands. Next is no coding required. As I have stated that it is non-procedural and a unified language. That is, we need not specify the procedure to accomplish a task, but only need to give a command to perform the activity. Means no coding is required for performing tasks in MySQL using the SQL language. The next is portable. Portable is it is compatible with other database programs, like you can use it with MS Access, you can use it with MySQL Server, Oracle and other databases. Means this language, this SQL language, if you learn it once, so you can easily work with any database, because SQL is the standard language which is commonly used with other databases also. Then it is not a case sensitive language. केस सेंसिटिव मीन्स कि अगर हम कोई कमांड कैपिटल लेटर्स में लिखते हैं या फिर हम उसे स्मॉल लेटर्स में लिखते हैं, तो देयर इज नो डिफरेंस, बिकॉज इट डज नॉट डिफरेंशिएट बिटवीन कैपिटल एंड स्मॉल लेटर्स. लेकिन अगर हम और प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेजेस देखेंगे जैसे जावा में, सी में, सी प्लस प्लस में, पाइथन में, इन सब में जो कमांड आपकी कैपिटल लेटर्स में है तो दैट यू हैव टू राइट इन कैपिटल ओनली. जो स्मॉल में है तो उसे स्मॉल में ही लिखेंगे, अदरवाइज इट विल रेज एरर. बट here in SQL this is not the case. Whether you type in capitals or whether you type in small, it does not make any change. So this is not a case sensitive language. Then next is complete language for a database. It means apart from being a strong query processing language, it can also be used to create, insert, delete and control access to data in a database. It means with this single SQL language, you can perform all the tasks on the database. Whether you want to create, whether you want to insert records, or you want to search for any record, or wants to delete any record. It can be any task. So each and every task can be performed with just a single SQL language. So that is why it is said this SQL language is said to be complete language for a database. The next point is reliable. This SQL language contains set of commands that provides the desirable results without any confusion. So that is why it is known as a reliable language. These are the advantages of SQL. SQL statements. SQL statements are also known as categories of SQL statements, or you can say types of SQL statements. So these are the types of SQL statements. First type of SQL statement is data definition language. Second one is data manipulation language. And the third is data control language. And fourth one is transaction control language. So these are the four types of SQL statements. With these types of SQL statements, we can work with database. These SQL statements contains the SQL commands which allow you to work with MySQL. So we'll discuss more on these SQL statements in my further videos. Now I will show you how you can start MySQL. In the taskbar, search for MySQL. Open MySQL command line client. After opening MySQL, the screen of the MySQL command prompt appears. So this is the MySQL screen. Here you have to specify a password to work with MySQL. So if any password is there, type the password and press the enter key. As soon as you specify the password and press the enter key, the MySQL prompt appears. This is the MySQL prompt where the cursor is blinking. This MySQL prompt is prompting the user to start typing the SQL commands. You can type the MySQL commands to work with the database. Like I'm typing one command which is help command. Type the command and press the enter key. So it is showing the output of this help command. These are the help contents which you can use for help on MySQL. Now again this MySQL prompt appears which is asking for any SQL command. This is the introduction part only. So in order to come out of MySQL application, you can type quit. You can type quit to come out of MySQL, and you can also use this \q to exit MySQL. This is same as quit. So quit will take you out of the MySQL screen. So this is how you can work with MySQL. Thank you, students. I hope you are clear with the SQL language, what we can do with this language. Now, the next video which I will be uploading is on data definition language. So stay connected and watch the video.